Hey everybody, hope you guys are healthy and safe. So you're watching footage shot with the DJI Pocket 4, the highly anticipated, long-awaited sequel to the DJI Pocket 3. It would not be an overstatement to say that DJI Pocket 3 was one of the most successful gadgets of the last few years. Anytime I went to a tech event over the past 2 years, whether it was like an iPhone launch or CES, I would look over at like a show floor with like 100, 200 media members, and then probably at least 60, maybe 70% of them are filming with a DJI Pocket 3 because the camera was that good. So the DJI Pocket 4 is one of the most highly anticipated releases. Now, unfortunately, if you're expecting the same jump the 4 is going to make over the 3, like the 3 made over the 2, you're going to be disappointed because the DJI Pocket 4 is more of a smaller iterative update this time around. It's about refining what worked on the DJI Pocket 3 rather than making major changes like the 3 did over the 2. So if you look at the overall hardware from the outside, you may not even be able to tell the 4 apart from the 3. The only noticeable physical differences is that the DJI Pocket 4 is a little bit taller and a little bit heavier at 190 grams compared to 173 grams before. The weight difference doesn't even matter in the hand. There are 2 new physical buttons on the DJI Pocket 4 that are just for shortcut actions, like doing a 2x zoom, that you can already do on the DJI Pocket 3 with the on-screen button. There's also a new pogo pin accessory. There's also a pogo pin adapter on the back of the gimbal. This allows the DJI Pocket 4 to connect to accessories. So the review package that I got, the creative bundle, it comes with this fill light that you just snap onto the back of the gimbal and it'll provide additional lighting. The light draws power from the camera so you don't have to charge it. It just pulls power from the pogo pin. The battery is also a little bit larger, so you get better battery life now, up to 250 minutes of shooting. And charging's faster, 0 to 80% in about 20 minutes. There's also one other improvement that you can't see physically, but it's actually the biggest improvement for me. It's that the DJI Pocket 4 now has 107 gigs of internal storage. The previous DJI Pocket 3 has no internal storage. You had to store everything on a micro SD card. So not needing to use a micro SD card, it's a major benefit for me because I don't have to go buy an extra memory card. And also I don't have to deal with dongles anymore because I travel a lot. And when I travel with my MacBook, I have to bring a dongle with me just to read that damn micro SD card slot. I don't need to do that anymore with the DJI Pocket 4. There is still a micro SD card slot if you want to use expandable memory, so you can do that if you want. But with 107 gigs of storage and really fast data transmission at 800 megabits per second, you don't really need to use an SD card. You can film in the like built-in storage. So that's about it in terms of hardware changes. The camera is the same, 1-inch sensor, f2 aperture. The screen is also the same, a 2-inch touch panel, although the screen does get a little bit brighter at 1000 nits. But otherwise, the camera is exactly the same as before. Now, if you're disappointed at no hardware improvement to the camera, you do have to be a little bit realistic because, you know, this guy already has a 1-inch sensor, and I don't know if you can physically use a larger sensor than 1 inch on a camera this small. Now, to be fair, DJI made software improvements to the camera. So now the camera has 14 stops of dynamic range. So if you're shooting against harsh backlight with like a sun coming through and like deep shadows, you will see better dynamic range and better details in the DJI Pocket 4 than on the DJI Pocket 3. Okay, so you're watching DJI Pocket 4 footage and DJI Pocket 3 footage. So the Pocket 4 has more stops of dynamic range, so maybe that will show contrast a little bit better. Pocket 4 footage, DJI Pocket 3 footage. Pocket 4 will give you a little bit better dynamic range, but only in that particular scene. Otherwise, in most other scenarios, the footage from the Pocket 4 and Pocket 3 look nearly identical. You also now have the ability to shoot slow motion videos at up to 240 frames per second while keeping 4K resolution. So this was something that the DJI Pocket 3 could not do before. And there are also these new film simulation picture profiles. So basically, if you follow my phone reviews, you will know what I'm talking about. These are like those hipster vintage picture profiles. Basically, it's a set of colors and tones baked into the camera so that when you film footage or take photos, it will appear like images or videos taken by like an older vintage camera. So we're talking about stuff like brighter contrast, deeper shadows. There are several film simulation profiles. One of them simulates the colors and tones of a Fujifilm camera, so that's been highly popular with young people. And then there's also a classic film negative profile. And then also one that I like the most is the film tone. So this will dial up the contrast a little bit, add a little bit of grain to make footage look more cinematic, so to speak. But then of course, if you really care about cameras, you will want to shoot in log and then color grade yourself. And the DJI Pocket 4 supports shooting log at up to 10-bit. So it's DJI's own D-Log. The footage you're watching right now is actually log footage that I've color graded myself. So by shooting log, you have more room to play with in terms of changing the tones and the colors and all that. And the audio you're hearing so far is coming from the wireless Bluetooth mic, because the review unit that I got also comes with a DJI Mic 3. But even if you don't buy this bundle, you can still pair it with an existing mic like a DJI Mic Mini if you have it. That's the beauty of DJI products. They play nice with DJI's entire ecosystem. And also, the camera has 3 mics that also work pretty well. So even if I turn off the Bluetooth mic right now and just use onboard audio, I'm gonna turn. So now it's off, testing. Okay, so now I should have switched to onboard audio. The audio should still sound pretty good. There are 3 mics on the front and on the sides, so you can kind of get spatial audio too. One more software change this year is there's like this new superior tracking. I think DJI calls it Active Track 7.0. I believe the DJI Pocket 3 had Active Track 6.0, but let me set it up right now. So I have the Pocket on a tripod. So basically, I just need to double tap on my face on the screen, and now Active Track is enabled. Switch back to Bluetooth mic. Okay, and then now it's tracking me, and I can move around, and the 3-axis gimbal will follow me. And the beauty of the software is that it recognizes my face, so even if other people walk into frame, like I tried it yesterday, it will still continue tracking me. So DJI Pocket 4, like the Pocket 3, is a tremendous one-man band content creator tool. That's why like literally 90 or 80% of YouTubers I know have the DJI Pocket 3, and they're probably going to get the DJI Pocket 4 even if they don't get it for review. And by the way, the aforementioned 2x zoom, so this is the default field of view. It's pretty wide, so I like it. Even if I hand hold the camera, I can still get a wide field of view. There's also a wide angle lens adapter that comes with the creator bundle that I can stick on magnetically, and it will increase the field of view a little bit. But there's also a dedicated 2x zoom button, so I'm gonna hit it right now. This is a 2x zoom. Obviously it's not meant for vlogging, but meant for if you are filming product shots or filming something like close up, like this little Buddha temple right here. So right here, I think using a 2x zoom looks a little bit better than if you use the 1x, which is a little bit too wide. So I also use this to film product shots. Like I've been reviewing the Oppo Find X9 Ultra, and I've just been kind of filming with a 2x lens. It looks a little bit better than shooting at a 1x because you get a little bit tighter framing with slightly less widescreen distortion. So this is the DJI Pocket 4 in a nutshell. Unfortunately, I don't have the price yet at the time of me making this video, but I will have it soon, so I'll put it in the video description below. So that's about it for this video, man. I hope you enjoyed this content. If you did, please consider subscribing to my channel. It will help me a lot. Thanks for watching.